Oi family! Welcome to another episode of Let's Catch Up with Sherani. I'm here today with my friend, my new friend, Mr. Cedric Charles. Cedric, say hi to our family.
Oi family, how are you?
Cedric, welcome to my home.
Okay, thanks for welcoming me to this beautiful home.
I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, now Cedric, I asked you here because I have an emergency. I'm serious. I called you here because I have an emergency, and this emergency, it's not just me who is experiencing it. A lot of people are working paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people are not working. A lot of people are working and earning a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the situation.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Cedric, you work as an investment banker, correct?
Yes, I do.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Cedric works as an investment banker at Banker St. Lucia. So, I feel like you are credible to come and speak to me
Right.
and to our family about money management,
Right.
about getting the most out of your money, about planting your money and watching it grow.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
About even how the small man can invest.
Right.
You with me already?
Oh, yes, I am.
Well,
Very
talk
much
to
so,
me.
very much so.
So let's start off with money on a whole. And I want to speak really to the entire audience. This is not, because when people hear investment,
It's like intimidating.
it's
right?
intimidating.
Right.
Right,
So we want to demystify that intimidation and let people feel that with investing, anyone can do it.
Anyone can invest.
Right. So,
And when we say anyone, we're talking about small salaries.
Yeah.
We're talking about salaries $1,000. Even if you earn
you making
$1,000.
so much?
Me, I don't earn $1,000. If I say $1,000, now it's Christmas.
Right.
All right. All right. So, talk to us.
Right.
So, a small man.
Mhm.
And I don't like to say small man,
Right. I know.
But you understand what I'm saying. I'm
Yes.
speaking in economy scale, the money
Yes.
you're earning.
Yes.
A person who is earning, let's say, $1,500 a month, $1,000 a month. What opportunity is there to invest? When I earn $1,500, the little rent over my head is $600. Half the money gone already.
Right.
There's utilities. Let's say take up $300. Although to me that's one bill.
Right.
Let's say the utilities take up $300.
Right.
I still have to buy stuff to keep me as a person, my role on my lady stuff, right?
Of course, yes.
Right. What opportunity is there for someone on that salary to save any money, to invest any money?
Well, there's a number of opportunities, but you first need to speak to someone. Because, if you're not well and you're sick, who's the first person you're going to speak to? A doctor. You're going to go to a doctor, get that advice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always advisable when you're in these situations to seek advice.
Right.
From a financial advisor.
Like yourself.
Like myself.
That is why you're here today, Cedric.
Yes, like myself.
Right.
And then we can take an assessment of your income.
Right. How you're spending your money.
Right. How you spend your money, your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we need to begin. Mm-hmm. But more than that, and where we normally get the issue is that there's not an alignment between your goals and your savings, what you want to accomplish.
Absolutely. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you want to lose weight, you know what you have to go. You have to go to the gym, get yourself ready, and you plan, okay, I need to lose 100 pounds,
Excuse me? Just kidding, right?
No, you need to get in that kind of a shape, so you have to look at that. So,
Right.
you would then have a goal. Say, okay,
Yes.
I want to lose 100 pounds for Carnival. That's happening in July. Similar with investing. You align my goals to what I want to accomplish in the future.
Right.
And that's where it has to begin. And that's the issues a number of individuals have. The alignment to save and invest is not in line with their lifestyle choices.
Subliminally, I feel like I hear you saying we got to work from a budget.
Yes, well, the budget is always the most essential tool. Well,
Yes,
one of them.
I work with a
Yes.
strict budget, right?
Yes.
It's important to budget.
Yes.
But like I'll walk you through my budget,
Right.
Cedric, and I'll say, Cedric, listen, I'm not getting anything that I don't absolutely need.
Right.
I'm spending my money on my utilities, on the roof over my head, on food. There must be a miscellaneous because things pop
Of
up
course.
during the month, and you have to
course.
be realistic. Nowadays, miscellaneous gone from 500 to 800. Seriously, on items. So when you see someone who would come to you and now we're using 1,000 and 1,005, but
Right.
it could be 10,500, 15,500.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So when someone comes and sits with you and say, I want to do something, I want to invest in a house in the future, I find I'm not saving, I'm not able to invest in medical insurance, life insurance. What kind of advice can you give that person when the budget is already
Slim. Okay. So
Slim,
you see,
yes.
The good thing about that is the person already has goals. I want to build my home.
Yes.
I want to save for my medical purposes. I want
Yes.
to save for my son's or daughter's education.
Right.
So the goal is already there. Now you need to save towards it. So yes, you're making 1,500. We look at your utility bill, and some of us may say, okay, I need my cable. I need my.
You don't need
my,
cable.
Exactly. So now I may tell you, okay, just stick with the internet.
Right.
And stream Netflix. Forget the
Exactly,
cable. Put that on
yeah.
the side.
Right.
You have your cell phone. You on a postpaid plan, and then it's going up to $170.
Because you're talking your money out your purse.
Go prepaid.
Right.
Spend $25. When it's done, it's done. So you look at what is essential because trust me, even if you're making 1,500, you could always make it lean. These expenses, lean on the expenses because that's all you have. The 1,500 is what you're making. So all you can reduce now is your expenses. Now we start a plan to save towards these goals.
Right.
And now we look at what we call investment vehicles. These investment vehicles would be bonds, equity instruments, exchange traded funds, alternative structures, and this can help you. These instruments can help you realize the goals.
You're such a banker. You're such a banker.
Well, yes, I am, and I'm actually going to take a drink on
The
that.
terminology. These are the vehicles you use to invest. Boy, let me tell you, you're absolutely right because I am like that. I am very goal focused, project focused. I always have a plan, a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. Anybody who knows me can tell you that I always have a plan. I
Right.
want to do this and I work towards it.
Right.
A lot of things that has not materialized is because of money. And I feel like I understand money. I think I told you on the phone the other day that although I did financial management in university, it still did not equip me with real world knowledge.
Right.
The budgeting skills that I have, and I've managed budgets in different companies.
Right.
The budgeting skills that I have came from my grandmother, who was the master accountant.
Right.
And the money she managed was in her handkerchief, in her bosom, and under the mattress, a little something put aside here and put aside there. So that is where I actually really learned that from. No matter what, she would make things work. We spoke about cable TV just now. Nobody needs cable TV. You don't need cable TV. I had a time I didn't have cable for 2 years because I was saving towards something, right?
Okay.
And
There you go.
if I didn't need internet for work, I wouldn't have internet.
Either, right?
Right? Like, I am the kind of person who I feel like I understand money. But even with that knowledge, I still struggle. I'm like, this is not working out. What am I doing wrong? Sometimes I sit with my son, I'm like, okay, let's look at the budget. Okay, we're going to cut this, we're going to move this here, we're going to cut miscellaneous, we're going to do that. But I'm like, why is this not working?
Right.
And then I'm thinking, if I want to achieve in my 2-year plan, I want to, let's say, open a little bar shop there. My contractor said it's going to cost me $60,000 to construct a little
Right.
6x6.
You're right.
Right? But there's no room in here for me to save towards that, because when I come to you in the bank, well, not you, but when I come to your colleagues in the bank, they're gonna say, sometimes they say, okay, well, Sherani, we need to get a 10% deposit or whatever. Me not got no money because you've seen the budget, and normally, you know me, I go to the bank, I come equipped with my budget. I say, this is how I'm spending my money. This is what I want from you, right? So
yeah, but you see, the thing is, that's why I always advise people to speak with a financial advisor. Reason being, the banks tend to have these savings plans, especially when you want to build a home or you want to do an extension to your house. You have at Bank of St. Lucia, they have this home start product. Now, how this product helps is you get
home start.
Right. Now, you have to be mindful that separate and apart from saving, that's just one element. You also have to look at the tax element, right? And reducing that tax burden on yourself. Right. So you have to always keep your especially when it comes to your expansion and renovations to your home, you keep that money aside because that's also a tax benefit. The home start saving towards your home is actually a tax benefit. There's a tax provision for that. So that can reduce your tax burden. So now you have more money in your pocket.
No, Cedric, I bet a lot of people didn't know that. That if you're saving, no, I'm serious.
Right.
That if you're saving towards buying a house, it can positively affect your tax code.
Right.
So you spend less.
You see, but that's why I'm here. and there are a number of other benefits that are out there. That's why I always advise people, come and sit with someone.
At Bank of St. Lucia.
Yeah, at Bank of St. Lucia, speak to a financial professional. Ask them the questions that you're asking me right now.
Yes.
And then I can now look at your income, look at your expenses, and we could come up with a plan.
Yeah. So, Cedric, I'm not asking you for me to be honest. I'm asking you for our family, those who don't have a plan, right? Bank of St. Lucia is my friend. When I wanted to build my house, Bank of St. Lucia was this ain't no commercial. I'm talking facts because Cedric, no, I am my own friend. When I wanted to build my house, Bank of St. Lucia was very kind to me. They appointed me a personal banker. She walked me through everything. I think Cynthia Laura was there at the time.
Yes.
She sat with me. She went through things with me, and I was able to ascertain a lot of knowledge that assisted me greatly. When I wanted to buy my car, it was the same thing. Your bank, not your bank. Bank of St. Lucia has been wonderful to me, and I think that they have a lot of really excellent programs and a lot of excellent people who can guide you.
Yes.
My banker right now, my personal banker, sometimes I'm on the phone with her for 20 minutes to half an hour, just telling her, I'm thinking about doing that, I'm thinking about doing this, what do you think? In fact, recently, and I was about to change my vehicle, and I said, I want X dollars to change my vehicle, and I was like, she said, Sherani, why are you sighing? And I said, because it's a depreciating asset. I don't just want you to give me 100,000 to buy a vehicle. And if you know me, I like to plant money to watch it grow. And I'm thinking, if I buy this vehicle, I don't owe anything for the one I'm driving now. What am I going to gain from it? That I'm not gaining because I have one that's taking me to work and back.
Right.
So in investing in getting 100,000, I have to pay you back for that. What am I going to get? And she said, well, Sherani, she gave me great. If you wait X months, I can not only give you that, I can give you this, so you could do that and that. Because we were talking about the grand scheme of things. And it'll be great to drive around in a nice vehicle. It'll be great to get small loans. But I want to say that the team at Bank of St. Lucia, they have some great advisors. And don't hide and be honest. Because when I don't have any money, listen, your staff, your team knows me so well, right? People like Adelicia, people like I forgot the name of the one I'm dealing with, Natalia, Cynthia.
Whoa.
Listen, even Tedderson.
Well, we had to big them up, right?
Yes, Cynthia, Laura, Adelicia, Natalia. Like these people, they know me well. If I am broke, I'm the type of person to pick up the phone and say, I don't have no money. Why is this happening? I'm supposed to have money, or I want to do this. How can you help me to do this? And Bank of St. Lucia provides a kind of support.
Right.
And even for me, who is half Lucian, if they're so kind to me and working with me, I feel like you will do it for your own people, which is why I wanted you to come to the table so we can talk about opportunity, because a lot of people are broke. And when I say broke, okay, so maybe they're eating, and maybe there's a roof over their head, but they're struggling. Most of us, if we lost our jobs today, it's a problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and you summed it up nicely. You need to have that conversation with your bank. You need to have that conversation with your banker. Let your banker know what is going on with you. What has
Right.
changed.
Be honest and be
Yes.
honest about it.
Be honest up front. Tell them hey, this is what's up. I've lost my job. Things are rough. I was
Yeah.
making 10,000. Now I'm making 3.
Absolutely.
Right. What
Yeah.
can you do for me? And that is how the conversation begins. Now,
Yes.
if there's no communication, like in a relationship, something's wrong with you.
I'm
you're
not
not
in a
telling me.
relationship. I'm
Well,
I'm just kidding. Right. But
then-
communication is key.
and it's critical.
It is,
And,
yes.
and that is the only way the bank can help. You need the bank, but the bank also needs you.
Absolutely.
So you need to
Yeah.
create that friendship. Speak to your personal banker. Everyone has someone assigned to them.
Of
you
course.
Say, hey, you know what? This is what's going on. How can you help me? And we'll find a way.
I want to just reiterate what you said. You said speak to your personal banker, that communication is important. I remember saying that to somebody, saying, just go in and talk to somebody. They were telling me about their plans. And I said, listen, Banker St. Lucia has been good to me. Call them, get someone to talk to. And they say, oh, Sherani, people like you have money. That's why they're talking to you. I'm like, let me tell you something. I don't have any money. I said, what I have is potential and what I have is a plan.
Right.
And that's what your bank likes.
Right.
And they like facts. And a lot of people, what they do when they go to the bank, let me finish that point. They will appoint you someone who can talk to you.
Yes.
Even if it's a loan officer, because the loan officers are financial advisors, they will speak to you. But you have to be honest. So the second point I wanted to make, a lot of people tell me, oh, I'm going for a loan, but I'm not going to tell them that I'm paying quotes. I don't want them to not paying quotes. And that's a big mistake.
It is.
When you're going for a loan or you want to speak about your future and how you want to invest, if you want to buy a house, buy a vehicle, you want to start up a small business or whatever you want to do, you must be totally honest about how you spend your money, even overstate. It's better to overstate your spending than to understate your spending, because then the bank, the response that you would get would be accurate and feasible, right?
That is absolutely right.
Right.
You're spot on with that statement, because that's the only way we'll know how to help. I mean, and I always relate it to any other profession. I mean, if you go to a doctor and you don't tell a doctor all your symptoms,
yeah,
he's gonna prescribe
based on what you said,
and then what's gonna happen ultimately? So you
Problems
now
still
go,
remains.
you have to pay courts. You don't say you pay in courts, and now I tell you, okay, you can only pay $4,000, and lo and behold, you can't pay.
Exactly, because
Now, if you tell me you pay in courts, I could say, okay, I'm gonna extend the term of the loan, and you're gonna pay less,
right?
Or let's try and restructure the obligation and see how we could work with you. But I can't work with you if you're not fully disclosing what's going on with you.
That's absolutely
important.
true. And I wanna help our family another way. Another thing people like to do, I hear a lot of people say that I don't want to use the word stupid, it's so weird. People are saying, me, I don't want to be in any debt, I don't want to owe the bank. Cedric, I love to owe the bank. Listen, from the time I know myself as a woman,
Right.
I always owe the bank. Because the bank ain't giving me money from the building. The bank giving you people money, the money that comes in, it's liquid, it's moving. So people always say, I don't want to go to the bank for a loan to start my business. I'm going to save and do it out of my pocket, do it piece. But then you delay your ROI, you delay your return on that investment. Go through, get it done, right? So can you support that point?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how. Think about it, okay? If, for instance, you say you're gonna pay it out of pocket, let's say you're building your home, building materials start rising
every day.
Every
It's
year,
ridiculous,
it's going
yeah.
up by double. If you had taken a loan, probably paying 6%, you in turn would save, because now there's something that always creeps in on that money you're making.
Yes.
And that is what's called inflation.
Absolutely, that inflation,
Now, when inflation now during the pandemic is as high as 7%. So now you figure you're taking out of your pocket to build your house, right? Price of goods rise by double. Every year it's rising by double. Before you know it, you spend your whole life trying to build a house.
It's true,
Right?
and then you don't even enjoy it.
And you don't even enjoy it. When now you could build your house, take your loan, build your house, build on your house, probably use it to have a rental property, do an Airbnb, and now you actually letting your investment, because that's what your home is, work for you. So yes, you pay in the bank 5%,
absolutely, yes.
but you could make 6, 7, 8% on that investment.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that point, because people are always saying that I don't want to owe the bank no money. I just want to do owe the bank. I love to owe the bank. And let me just say to you and the rest of you at Banker St. Lucia, I will always owe you money. Do not call me. All right, so that's important. Another thing that I've noticed that people talk as well is that because of this error, y'all are not really taking risk. Business people are risk takers. I'm a risk taker. Right? I will have zero money in my account and call the bank and say, I'm thinking about getting a fleet of cars to do rent. I'm that person.
Right.
How can you assist me? Mm-hmm. Right? And before they would talk about Sherani, come in, let's sit down and talk about it. Right? And then they would say, okay, maybe we can refinance your house, your car, whatever. We can get you 5 cars to start off, whatever. Now I find that your team is a bit more, not afraid, but you're not taking as many risks because of the error. What's going on? Talk to me.
Okay, so
let me put it in layman terms. It's like, trust me again.
Yeah, well, we do trust, and we'll always continue to trust. But there are a couple of factors that we always have to be mindful of. First off, I mean, yes, we are in the era of the pandemic, and there is a lot of uncertainty. However, if you come to us with a sound, robust plan, we are going to entertain it. And it needs to make, but however, like I always say, it needs to make sense. If a colleague of yours asks you to lend him money, and he says, okay, I want to do this, borrow me $500. I mean, first things that's going to come to your mind.
When am I going to get it back?
Yeah, or will I get it back?
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, the bank works in the
same way. Right.
But if it makes sense, or I know you going into something that makes sense, I would listen. But then you need to come and tell me that this makes sense. I mean, nobody's going to lend money just like that. It needs to make sense, and that's all it is. During the pandemic, it was a difficult time, and a lot of people were coming for relief more than coming to
we're still in the pandemic, right?
Yeah, we are, but things are trying to get a little better. Not that it is, but things are getting better, even with the latest strain, because the strains will continue. And I honestly believe we're getting to that endemic stage of this pandemic. But even with that, it's all based on the circumstances. You as an individual, you are the custodian of your finances.
Absolutely.
And because you always need to go out there, speak to individuals, speak to financial advisors, speak to bankers, and look for what is best for you. Banks are always having promotions.
Always.
When there's a promotion, even if you have a facility at the bank, go to the bank and say, I have a promotion. Can I get on that promotion? But you always have to be checking for your business.
Exactly. Let me support you in that. You have to follow your bank. You have to follow your bank on Instagram. You have to follow your bank on Facebook. You have to put yourself on that list where they send you all of their emails, because as Cedric is saying, Cedric or Cedric? Cedric. I said Cedric because okay. As Cedric is saying, you have to become aware of what opportunities are available to you, and don't think, well, they will never give me that, or the bank only favors other.
Yeah, you never know until you ask.
You never know until you ask.
I mean, the most that could happen is they say no. But you never know until you ask, and we always want people to come to us and ask the question.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw came out of this pandemic, there's a lot of new entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I actually had quite a few on the show. I think one of the shows that we're releasing shortly is about some amazing kids who has their own business.
Wow.
And
nice.
And then I had a lady here who does bonnets. She has an MBA, but she learned a skill during the pandemic. And these are thriving businesses. And people like this, I'm always thinking, they need to go to Banca St. Lucia, take a $15,000, get mass production, because I'm a big thinker. I'm a money spender, like I'm a risk taker. I like this, but I feel like a lot of people are afraid to invest. They're afraid to step out. They're afraid to have a discussion with the bank. They're afraid to owe the bank. Let me tell you, owe the bank all day.
Yeah.
I took a vacation loan, I don't know, probably 10 years ago.
Right.
I've refinanced that loan every single year of my life. Well, now in the pandemic, I'm not traveling.
Right.
But I've never ever paid off my vacation loan, and I will never pay it off. Because why? Because when things back to our new normal, I want to have a vacation. That's a part of my mental stability, and
to keep that balance in your life.
Right,
well.
and even if I don't take vacation, when I take my vacation loan, I do something. I plant it so it grows. It does something
which is
for
good.
me. So they think, so even if you have a loan, sometimes you could go and refinance that loan. Sometimes the bank would have these specials. You can go and take the money. You don't need it for something, but take it and leave it in the bank.
Yeah.
Leave it in the bank,
Or
lock it.
invest in it. Invest in a facility.
And there's collaboration opportunities as well.
There always is.
There's always collaboration opportunities, meaning it's not your business, but you can piggyback and say, okay, I'm gonna invest X dollars in your business for whatever percentage annually, so you get dividends, right?
Yeah, you get dividends. Yeah, there's a number of investment vehicles. I mean, it's its own universe.
I like to hear you talk like about
but it's important for you to have the discussion. Sit down, speak to someone who knows about these things, have the dialogue, hear what they have to say. They will assess your situation and advise you upon it, which is very, very important.
Now let me hit you.
Hit me like this?
I'm going to hit you because now that we've had the pandemic, a lot of companies downsized and the bank did as well. There's a lot of people who left, some of them retired, and I know, maybe not in Bank of St. Lucia, but not in Bank of St. Lucia, not in Bank of St. Lucia. But let's speak for other banks too. A friend of mine told me she works in the bank, they've downsized, they have far less staff and so on. So people are having a hard time reaching loan officers, getting in touch with someone. Sometimes you leave 20 messages, you don't get back. What can you say to people like this? What other opportunity do they have to get an audience with your bank, to really get someone to sit down and listen to them?
Well, there are a number of avenues. You mentioned social media one. We have an online support system which is very effective. If you want to speak or find out anything about your account or want information, we have online support. You can, I mean, if you know in St. Lucia, everybody know everybody. You call a colleague or a friend. That's also a medium in which you can speak to someone at the bank. And we also have our switchboard.
Yes.
And if you so there are a number of mediums you can use, and you could also, I mean, we don't want people coming in, especially during the pandemic, because of
for the obvious reasons, yes.
Right, social distancing. But you could still take the casual walk and go into the bank and say, hey, I'd like to speak to someone. But what we try to do, we always try and we push this outreach. We want people to come in. Tell us your experience. Tell us what's going on with you. Tell us how we are doing as a bank. Because it's important. Because we want to know how we doing. Because this is a tough time for everybody.
I mean, you're telling?
Yes.
I know.
And we want to know if we are doing all we can. Mm-hmm. Right? Because, I mean, I said that earlier. As much as you need a bank, the bank also needs you.
So do you have people doing field intelligence? When I say field intelligence, like out here knowing what's really going on, that everybody who earned $10,000, what that $10,000 would have gotten you pre-pandemic, now that we're mid-pandemic, that $10,000 getting you $8,000 worth of stuff. You understand me?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the money has less value, right? You can't buy as much. Grocery has gone up about 3.5%. Building materials has almost doubled.
Right.
It's a very, very, very hard time. And I mean, you have to eat.
Yeah.
Right? Even the gas fluctuates, but the gas is not at a good price. So.
I mean, the control commodities will always be there, but we always do our intelligence. We assess the economy. We assess where inflation is. We even look at wage inflation as well. And we make these assessments to come and then see how we can help.
I'm sorry. I wanted to
go ahead.
I wanted to go back on a point that you made, and I wanted to actually support you because you were saying that there's always a way to find someone in the bank. Because I said that sometimes it's hard to find a banker.
Right.
But what I do, because I'm a bully, when I can't get anybody to answer me in the bank or Bank of St. Lucia, any bank, I send an email. Anybody I'm dealing with in the bank, I take their phone, I take their business card. The moment I walk in, I meet you, I take your business card. Even if I'm not meeting with you, I go to the bank and I ask for your business card, or I ask the operator, give me their email address and desk number. Right. I will call, I will leave a message on the phone. I assume they're not going to answer me, and I will follow up with an email. You're laughing because you know. I will say, following my call that I made Monday at blah, blah, blah. And then if I don't get a response, I do stuff like, please call Sherani Augustine, second request. please call Sherani Augustine. Third request. People hate that. I'm sorry, but basically, I'm basically saying if you really want to speak with somebody, you will move mountains to get to speak to someone.
What we've done at the bank, we've made a commitment, and I think every officer of the bank has made that commitment. We have our customer service charter, and that's a charter that every official and officer of the bank needs to follow. We are going to ensure that if you call, if we don't return the call immediately, we will return the call as soon, because we also see people who come in person, and we also have stuff that we do. But as soon as we see that missed call, we will return it. If you send an email, we will respond to it. If you go on our online platform and you have a query, we will always answer. We have a portal, very, very efficient portal, and it has a turnaround time, and that turnaround time has to be within 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
So you should get a response by then.
As we're wrapping up, I have just a couple of questions.
Sure.
So, let's say, let me ask you, do you all have any, my brain is erupting. My brain is erupting. Do you all have any opportunities for young business people? And when I say young, I don't mean young by age. People new entrepreneurs who have an idea. Do you have any schemes? People call them schemes. I don't know if scheme is the right word.
Well, yeah. There's something that we are in the process of working on with young business people, especially like you mentioned it. During the pandemic, that's when people have time. They have downtime to think of what is the new thing.
Yes.
What is the disruptor in the market? And what we try to do is align ourselves to young individuals' visions, because you can't overlook the young generation. You look at what they're trying to do, what they want to do.
They're innovative,
and we want to align our financing streams to their passions and visions.
Right.
But like I said, it has to come with a discussion, because it's one thing if you tell me, I want to launch a ship into space. Okay, now tell me how you're going to do it.
Right.
How are you going to source this? What new technology do you have?
Yeah.
So the conversation needs to take place. It's more than just an idea, but what you want to do with that idea. And that is where you now need to partner with entities to make your idea turn into something that is marketable.
Absolutely.
That when you go to an investor, he can say, okay, this makes sense.
It makes sense.
Right.
Yes, you can't go in and say, I need to get a car, and you have no driver's license. You never drive a car. I'm putting it in layman terms,
right.
But that's basically the point you're making.
Right.
Your business plan must make sense. You should have done your feasibility studies. You should understand, okay, well, if I want to do this, is there demand for this type of business?
Right.
And you just have to understand what you're doing, so that when you pitch it, because you have to pitch to you're not easy,
but
you have to pitch it. When you pitch it, that you have a greater opportunity.
And the fact is, for most of us, if you have your $500 and you work hard for your $500, you're giving your $500 to anybody.
500? I don't even see 5.
Let me see if I have it.
I did a raise. All right. So in closing, I want you to tell our family, I want you to tell our family what's new at Bank of St. Lucia. What do you have that's new?
Okay. We have a number of projects in the pipeline that will be rolled out in the first quarter of this year. We have 3 exciting products. I don't want to,
Listen, I am sorry I don't have my pen to write it down.
You're gonna have to bring me back so I could share it with family here. But we have 3 new exciting products. I'm so excited about these products.
Listen, as you said, I feel like I should get a pen.
But yeah, we have 3 new exciting products that are going to disrupt the market. And you will get
my attention.
teasers. Yeah, you're gonna be getting teasers soon, because we have a very solid social media plan. So like I said, I'm saying all of this so you could bring me back.
Okay, Cedric, come back when you want.
And
yes, but when they are launched, let's come back and let's talk about the plans.
And they're very exciting. And like I said, we always have our promotions.
Who is your target market? Who's your target audience for these new projects that you're about to roll out in Banca St. Lucia?
Well, our target market is everyone. We want to target everybody in their life cycle. We want to target the young person just coming out of school. We want to target the middle-aged person. We want to target the person who is in the golden years. We call them the baby boomers.
Do not lie to me. I don't want no man coming here by the table lying to me. Because I know when you reach a certain age, the bank is always very iffy because the payment cycle is normally maximum 25 years. Mm-hmm. So when you get to a certain age,
right,
you're very reluctant to give a loan. So I want to know what plan you could possibly have for the elderly or the people who are past middle age.
We always have plans.
Okay.
But something you always have to be mindful of. People are living longer. You know, you have to be mindful.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Are people living longer?
Yeah, of course, people living longer. Look at you. I'm sure you. Go
ahead and say it, Cedric.
I'm not gonna say that.
Tell the truth.
I don't want that ego to swell, right? So let's leave that alone.
Well, people are trying to take better care of themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we know more now than we did 20 years ago.
We
know what we need to
do.
eat. We know how we need to exercise. We know so many things now that we didn't know back then.
But from you, what we need to know is how to make our money work for us.
Right.
So let me tell you, and I'm saying this to our family, whenever these plans are rolled out, I want you to come back. I want you to share them with our family. We want to know all of the opportunities available at Banca St. Lucia. We want to know well, you told us how people can get in touch with someone to speak with.
Yes.
You said all the different social media platforms and so forth.
Right.
All right, but I'm very excited about the projects.
Yes.
I want to know. I remember once somebody called me and told me, girl, you know the bank have a 4% on something, and I called and I was able to get a loan with the 4%. I was shocked because normally they start at 7.5. So there's and it's because someone had told me. So it's very wise to know what's going on with your bank. Speak to your investment banker. People like Cedric, they have a wealth of information to share. So no matter what money you make, always put a penny aside because that can be invested, no matter how small. Thank you again for joining us on another episode of Let's Catch Up with Sherani. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Bye.